What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 10, Episode 4. So we pick up with where we left off with Yandy and Infinity trying to work out their problems. And I'm going to be honest with you, we got to the end of this conversation. I really want that clear. But I feel like what I said last week is pretty much the same thing. You know, Infinity, like a lot of kids, because she's still young. I mean, I know she's in her early 20s, but she's still a kid, or late teens, whatever. She's in college, but she's still a kid. And she's a kid that's been through a lot. And I think that from the minute Mendices came home, she anticipated that things would be different. And so at the very first sign that things changed, she reacted. And she did with a lot of adults. We saw Safari do it. The minute Erica makes him mad, he goes to social media and tweets out marrying her was the worst thing that ever happened, the worst decision he ever made. So we see that people make these mistakes, and that's what she did. She went to social media, she went off. Now it seems like she had somebody in her ear. Yandy keeps saying older person, older person, older person. So I don't know if it's a man, I don't know if it's a woman, I don't know if it was a romantic type relationship. I got the impression it was a romantic situation, and I also get the impression that that relationship might be done. And so I feel like Infinity thought I could just come back and everything would be everything. And because I give Yandy credit for working through it. You know, when she walked off, Yandy didn't let her walk off, you know, and she said, we're going to work through this and we're going to figure it out. And she did apologize, you know, and Yandy was like, well, you got somebody else you need to apologize to. Like, you need to talk to Mendices because you didn't just affect me with what you did. You affected all of us. And honestly, Mendices just doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust you in the house because at the end of the day, he doesn't know if the minute you get mad, you're going to go to social media again and start telling all our business. Like, he has to trust you. So they end up going to Mendices. He was getting the car washed, and they go to him, and you know, they talk it out, I guess, you know, but Mendices, you could tell Mendices ain't feeling it. He ain't here for it, and he ain't feeling it. He's trying to keep the peace. So then she wants to come and see the kids, and the kids are at the house, and you know Mendices don't really want her in the house, but again, he acquiesces. He kind of lets it, you know, lets it go, because I ain't gonna go through the back and forth with her apologizing to him. So then we see her come to the house, which Mendices already ain't really want her to come. And then I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Listen, we had a storm last night. The whole episode ain't record, but from what I gathered from the conversation, it seemed like she's just trying to work her way back home. And again, like kids do, we make the mistake. You know, and we want to just come back without understanding the consequence of the bad decisions that we made and how it affected all of us, right? Or all of them. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but it is what it is, child. Then we got Miss Rashida, and I guess this is her storyline this season. Is her kids fighting at the restaurant and this sister that we ain't never heard of in 10 seasons of Love and Hip Hop, we ain't never heard of her sister. But we found out that the sister is an older sister, and she, you know, for lack of a better word, is the black sheep of the family. She in and out of jail. The only time she called is when she needs something. Mama said I done fired her 3 times, and the last time I fired her because she was stealing from the store. So it seems like the family has tried to help and extended themselves, and they keep getting burnt. But Rashida, at the end of the day, wants a relationship with her sister. I mean, she loves her sister. It's her sister. So it's her sister's birthday. Mama want to have a party for her down to the bistro. So now Rashida got to go and talk to Kirk about it. And Kirk is like, listen, you going to do what you going to do. So go on and have the daggone party, you know. And Rashida was like, well, you know, with everything going on with the pandemic, like life is short, and I love my sister, and I just want us to have a relationship. I want us to work this out. And, you know, if this is what I need to do, you know, to try to bring the family back together, then I got to do what I got to do. And Kirk is like, child, whatever, make it happen. So they end up having a dinner. And again, this is where my thing went out. But they end up having the dinner. And the sister, you know, it seems like the sister had a little breakdown, and she's apologizing, and, you know, for not being the sister that, you know, she should have been, or that everybody wanted her to be, or whatever, child. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. So then we got Erica Mina, who goes to, I guess, the only damn gynecologist in the city of Atlanta, Dr. Jackie, about her pregnancy. And she tells her about, Safari's reaction and how Safari wasn't excited to have the baby or whatever, and how that made her feel. And Dr. Jackie was like, well, let's be honest. When I told you were pregnant, you stared me down for 10 whole minutes. And it wasn't until I actually showed you the sonogram on the screen that you kind of accepted it. So you can't be upset with him because he reacted the same way you reacted. Like, you, by the time you told him, you had come to some sort of terms, but you can't be mad that he didn't, because she said, well, I wanted him to jump up and swing me around and wind flowing through my hair. And she was like, but that ain't even how you reacted. So you can't be mad at him because he didn't give you what you wanted. And so she was like, well, yeah, I guess, I guess you're right. So we find out the gender of the baby. Well, we don't find out yet. She finds out. So later on in the episode, we see her talking to, Safari. And, again, all she had to say was, because she told Safari all about the conversation with Dr. Jackie. And Safari was like, exactly. Like, you gotta give me time. And he was saying that he was dealing with some postpartum, which Dr. Jackie said that men don't deal with the hormones of postpartum, but there is an adjustment for them. And some men, go through some things, which I guess Safari was going through some things, child. So she did what I hate people that do, or I hate when people do. You apologize and then turn around and complain. So she apologizes to him, but then she says, but you got to admit that you weren't there for me at the beginning of this pregnancy. You weren't there for me when I needed you. Girl, give that man a minute. Like, apologize and give it a minute. And I'm not saying Safari is right or all of that, but damn, like, he ain't all wrong either. Because again, in that situation, I probably would have responded the same damn way Safari responded. I probably would have gave you the what? Okay? So then the baby falls. Safari doesn't immediately jump up to pick the baby up. She gets mad at him because he thinks it's funny and she doesn't think it's funny. And she was like, see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm right back where I started. I'm in this by myself. I don't have any support. I don't have any, I don't have anybody that's on my side. Safari basically is a clown. Safari said, listen, she wasn't nothing wrong with her. It builds character. She need to know that, life hurts sometimes. Safari, what is wrong with you? Like, for real. What is wrong with you, Safari? Anyway, so last but not least, we have, is it Britney? The rapper, Dion Ferris's daughter, child. She's still out in LA, and she at rehearsal, and old boy calls her. Now, she stops her rehearsal to answer the phone. Her manager is like, really? That's what we getting ready to do here? We getting ready to stop our rehearsal to answer the phone? And, of course, he tells her that she was out of pocket the night before, and ends up hanging up on her. So, of course, that ends up throwing her whole thing off until Baby Tate, that's her name, until she finds out that her video hit 1 million views on YouTube. So, of course, she's happy about that. Later on, she asked him to hook up, to meet up so they could talk. And she apologizes, and she tells him that, she's sorry about what happened. And he said, yo, you was really wilding last night. Like, you were really on one last night. Now, the only thing in this scene that I find to be really alarming is she was like, I can't drink like everybody else. And sometimes I don't realize that until it's too late. And I end up don't even really remember everything that happened. That's a little bit scary to me. Because what I hear, what that translates in my mind is you either get blackout drunk or you can't hold your liquor. And the other problem I have is then you wanted to use that as an excuse and it was supposed to make everything okay. Well, I just had a little bit too much to drink, so why can't we just move past this? And he was like, you know what? I like you. I like hanging out with you. I like effing you. I like all of that. But I think we should just stay friends because that last what I saw wasn't cool. And it sounds to me like she didn't take it that serious. Like, okay, I had a bad night. Why can't we just move past it? But listen, it is always an alarm bell to me when I hear somebody justify or make excuses about getting so blackout drunk. It sounds like she got real out of pocket, and even sound like she got a little borderline, like, violent. So you might want to check that. I don't know how much of that was because they didn't show it to us, so I feel like it must have got bad that they didn't show us all the footage of what happened at the house. I mean, last thing we saw her was to just put everybody out, but it sounded like more went down after that, and they may not be showing us the footage because it was that bad. But what I'm gonna say about that is you might want to check that girl. You too young for that. And it ain't a good look. And don't no man like a drunk. I'm just telling you. You can say what you want to say. They don't mind having a drink with you. They don't mind getting drunk with you. But they don't like that kind of a drunk. That messy, violent. Men don't like that. Okay? Y'all, that's all I got. That's all I got for Love and Hip Hop. I mean, a lot of people are complaining about this season. I know some reviewers who even stopped reviewing it. Listen, that's all I got tonight. I'm sorry if it ain't. That's all I got. I gave you what they gave me. Talk to y'all later. Peace.